Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of December 19th through the 25th of 2016. Can you believe the year is almost over? And here we are, getting to the holidays. What a week we have in store. There's things here to talk about, It's not one of those real calm weeks with nothing. Not that there usually are, but just in time for Christmas and Hanukkah, we have Mars entering Pisces on the 19th, and Mercury goes retrograde on that day as well. On the 21st, the Sun enters Capricorn, and we also have our annual winter-summer solstice, my favorite day of the year, because here where I am, I know that once that day occurs, that after that each day will grow longer with more daylight. I'm a daylight person. I love when it's daylight. Now, here's the biggie. And, talking about it like with friends and trying to explain it. Saturn trine Uranus, all right, on the 24th. It's the first of three. And then it won't happen again until 2047. So you know that this is something special. Okay, the next two will occur on May 19th and November 11th, and then we'll be done. But this whole year coming up, how to describe it? It's like taking all of the past 5 years, and I think one of the words that my friend used was like an anecdote. You're going along and you have to find that thing which will make you all better. And it's kind of an unusual correlation, but yeah, something like that. It's not your typical kind of reaction that you expect from Saturn and Uranus. Okay, when you see them in other situations, this is actually there to help you. So I think in spite of Mercury being retrograde, it will add a bright spot. It's kind of, I want to say it's like allowing you to repair because you're in this transitional phase. So I would have to think that when you get to that November 11th next year, things are going to be very, very different. And we've talked about this before. I feel that big turning point is around August when we have the total eclipse. Anyway, we're talking about this week, right? Yes, my goodness. The things that worry you, the things that get you down. You're starting to, I want to say, think differently, which is good. It's not so much that there's less worries. It's how you view them, okay? And not letting things get to you as much, all right? There's that whole, with the losses and the things that have happened. I think you're really starting to put things into perspective now, which is good. I keep trying to remind everyone that, as you go along, if you keep focusing on what went wrong, you're never, ever going to be able to figure out what can go right. And that's what this week is about with Saturn trine Uranus, okay? It's time to make things go right. So this is an interesting time. It is also a big time for sharing and caring and charity and all of that and, helping others, lending a helping hand. So that's very predominant this time of year. And like I've said, every time I have seen it come up, I wish it was something that was more prevalent year-round. However, it does bring emotional fulfillment. This is a special week, okay? It really, truly is. I think you're going to be, throw the holidays in and all of the other things that have been going on. And it's really something. All right, now there is the whole, I also want to say, like looking over maybe even your finances, all right? Trying to figure this out, like not allowing yourself to be fooled. Because with Mercury retrograde, you need to be a little more careful and not wanting to, I want to say, overspend. And because when we get to this week, if you haven't gone and done any shopping that you're going to do by now, oh my goodness, try to have as much organized and out of the way. Hopefully, I've been talking about it, but don't be running out at the last minute. You'll be, I don't want to say so sorry later, but yeah, you might not feel that you did your best. That's for sure. Now, your intuition. I don't want to call it intuition. I want to call it your thoughts on a situation. Like, I knew this. I knew this would happen one day. Wow. That's like, it's saying a lot. It really, truly is. Depends on who you are and what it is that you thought you knew. Yeah. There is something about this week. It's that moment. I don't know if it's the Mars going into Pisces, what it is. All right. But things are changing. One of the feelings that I've been getting lately is like, something that you thought would never happen. It's like that. So change is coming in, and it's in your best interest to, maintain clarity, like not to allow that emotion to get in there. Keep your emotions balanced. Think with your mind, okay? Because if you let your heart rule, you could get into trouble. All right. Wow. There's so much going on here. You have made all this progress working on this new identity. All right. And then something happens. And it's like, it's not that it shows throwing care to the wind, but yeah, don't forget your head. Don't think, what I'm saying? Like, think. Because it's one of those things. It's something that you're very much connected to. And you can't help yourself. You got to really think straight. So, like I said, your intuition. Very interesting. Now, working your way toward the future, but not in an easy manner. All right. Like, it's time to get out of that box, to think outside of the box. Could be Mercury, coming in and messing with your clarity, where, simple things, because in the beginning I see that worry. All right. I'm looking for those solutions and wanting to take action. But there again, you have the rules of Mercury retrograde. When do you take action? When don't you take action? What is it all about? Yeah. Trying to get everybody to work together on the same page. Oh boy, oh boy. This is where, you have communication breakdowns. And you have somebody drops the ball. People are at odds. It's not in a bad way. But I don't feel like you're a part of it. I feel like you want to turn your back on it and focus on your future. I'm like, all right, I'm tired of all that. I don't want to engage in that, whatever that is. Because your focus is toward your happiness and how to stand your ground for it. It doesn't matter. That for some reason, I know I'll have plenty of Mercury retrograde things to report because I've already had things vanishing into thin air on me. After doing all the work. It's always fun. But in spite of it, you're really holding your ground. You don't want to lose an inch. Remember how before, for the first 9-10 months of the year, it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and then it's okay, no more back. I'm not staying in this spot, but I'm surely not going to lose any ground today or this week. So that's a good way to be. And of course, with the holidays around, there's a lot of focus on family, memories, things of that nature. But, oh, creativity. Yes. Yeah, you're up to something. At least some of you are. Boy, I've seen some really creative people out there, in my Facebook newsfeed when I get a chance to look. And what y'all are doing. It's amazing to me. Now, part of this is, and it could be because we're approaching the new year, like trying to balance things out. Get together that financial plan. Yeah. How can you utilize all of your resources? This is a good thing. Like looking for a new beginning and getting this together. Wow. A wish this week. We don't get to say that every week. Not every week. But it's an interesting one for sure. Now, you've been given some thought here. It's a lot of thought this week too. But a lot of thought, but also a lot of action to, what works, what doesn't work, what don't you want in your life anymore, the status quo. Some things, I don't know if it's because they're predictable. A lot of times the holidays can be fairly predictable, and it's not always the best time for everyone in that manner, because they're like, yeah, it's going to be like this, and that's going to be like that. Yeah, there is a choice here, okay? And this is regarding relationships, not just love relationships. Big change. Transition. All right. Bringing about the end of a situation. Now, we've talked about this before in one of the others that I did recently. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was something on Patreon. And it's, on one hand, it has a lot to do with you. I want to say, like, absolutely losing your patience with a situation. Really, I mean, how often do we hear that word? And how patient have we been? It's not showing it up so much as an outburst, but you could lose your patience in any kind of way. But, the result of this, and this is interesting, is that it is around love and what you love. Because it's showing it up as a burden. It could be. It could be a relationship that's just been, I can't do this like this. Whatever it's about. You're changing, like you're breaking out. I see you over here, and, you're trapped. You're not going to stay that way. So whatever it is that's troubling you, over the course of this week, you're going to do something. Do something, say something, and boy, does it feel good. Like you feel blessed. That's a good thing. You can actually relax after that, whatever that's all about. And hopefully you do, get to enjoy your holidays and relax. There's something interesting happening this week. This isn't your typical holiday week. And I don't think that Mercury can take all of the credit for this either. Okay, so by the end of the week, by Sunday, you have the holidays going on. There's a huge success here, okay? Not just the celebration of the season, but there's a victory in here for you somewhere. Something's happening. It's almost like, how to explain it? It has a lot to do with guidance and being guided. And a lot of things that are tradition. This is interesting. And tradition and change. Like having that vision. Remember, I spoke of the future. And you're really... I think it's good that you're wanting to look toward the future now. Because it really is time to forget about a lot of that other stuff. And I think that with each day that passes, that becomes a little bit easier. All right? It really, truly does. So there's a lot of, clarity that's coming. It's a week for a victory. I'm telling you, there's a victory in here for you. It's a big change. Now, the new moon is not until the 29th, which will be covered in next week's when we close out the year. But there's like, the change is just continuing. And I feel like this coming into your power gives you power over the pain. All right, that pain can be like anything, really anything. It's whatever's been going on. Yeah, could be people. It's interesting to me because I just feel like each week I feel like we are having significant events, and they're going to continue because the universe is trying to get you to June, August, in there, that type of thing, where you see all the changes coming in. So you just need to hang in there and keep on going. Decisions are being made this week. One would think, no, like, what should I decide? Mercury's retrograde. Should I make a decision about this, about that? Maybe not for buying things, maybe not for initiating things. But remember, this is a time when you can make decisions regarding people who may show up, whom you haven't seen or heard from in a very long time. All right? And this is a trend that's going to continue, mind you, up until almost June. Which is why I've been saying to people, don't go starting relationships now, meet someone and try to start something. Because there's a lot of this coming up for, like the next 5 months, which will deal with relationships and people from your past and relationships not working out and renewal of relationships and all kinds of things. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be noticing it now, all right? More so, I think, once Mercury's retrograde. If you didn't have a little glimmer of it ahead of time, well, it was just in shadow. But yeah, there's definitely things happening. It's not your run-of-the-mill holiday week, whatever it is that you're used to. And it's not that it's so drastic. Well, on one hand, it may seem that way. It's more about what is more drastic is like one small event can trigger multiple sleepless nights where you're just thinking, oh my goodness, what comes next? It's that type of thing. All right? It's been hinting at it for a while, and it's one of those things where timing has a lot to do with it. And I don't think the timing is right. And one of the things that I've been saying to you these last couple of weeks, I think it might be in the monthly as well, like the love and finance, is that go with the flow. Play things easy. If the love of your life shows up, and wants to talk to you, I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm not saying be rude in any way or turn them away. Just don't go jumping off a cliff for them. Just be cool about it. It's not the time for whatever reason. And there's things you're just going to see that it's not the normal. We don't have Mercury retrograde at Christmas like this really often. But this year, the timing of it feels very significant with events that are transpiring, because you have things to deal with that have to do with the past and what you're going to create for the future. But that's why with all of this relationship energy that's going on, and yes, Mercury is relationship energy to me because it brings people in and you have to figure out what you're supposed to do about it. And because Mercury's retrograde, a lot of times you can't think clear. So what do? I say ride it out, and that's what I see here. Play it easy, ride it out. If there is someone who shows up and they're still around by the end of May, then we'll talk. Then we'll talk. All right. And this has been the theme for many of you when I do personal readings as well. So you've got a lot of players in the whole, spectrum of things this week, and things that feel not as typical as you're used to for your holidays. So I want to thank you all for listening. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your Hanukkah, enjoy your Kwanzaa, your Yule. I can't remember them all. I know there's so many, but whatever you celebrate, enjoy. And I will see you here again next week to do the rest of the year. Thank you and have a good one.